Hello, everybody. Welcome to Off the Reel Sessions with my good friend, the Dubber. First of all, before we jump right into this interview session, I would like to say thank you to our sponsors and our Patreons who help the show continuously go on. A big shout out to Coburn's Exclusive out of Nashville, Tennessee. But I'm going to jump right into the interview session right here with the Dubber. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dubber, man, what an incredible show, bro.
Good, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I absolutely enjoyed listening to you. Your finger picking style is crazy to watch. Like, did you have any influences, that kind of pushed you in that direction, or
That's just me.
just you? You just picked. How long have you been playing?
Oh, I keep it nice since I was like 13.
Since you were 13?
Yeah.
Oh man, so
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
you've been picking at that a long time then.
Yeah.
There's this one cool thing that I saw you doing while you're playing, and it is even while you're singing, you do this clicking noise with your mouth.
Yeah, people always ask me about that. Before I did the dubber, acoustic, me singing, I never sang. Never had any desire to sing, never sang in the shower, never sang it by myself. But I used to write songs. And I played, believe it or not, in punk rock bands for a long time.
Really?
So to keep my meter in my head, I would like that. But there was never a microphone in front of me. And I'm playing, Marshall Stack 11,000 notes a second. And that's just how I kept my meter. So when I start singing, it's just naturally what I do. And people will come up to me and ask me, what was I doing? How was I doing? I heard the range. In the beginning, I didn't know what they were talking about. And then one day I got in front of a real good monitor, and I heard myself. And I was like, yo, what is that? And then I realized what it is. So
What the most impressive part about it was that you were holding a note while you were doing it. You were like singing a note and doing the clicking noise at the same time. I was like, what is going on right now?
it's just,
It's
it's just what I do.
It's
Like
so
I said,
insane to me.
it's just what I just natural. Just what I do. It wasn't a lot of, wasn't a lot of thought put into it. That's just naturally how I keep my meter and it's my metronome.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, good thanks.
I'm going to try to incorporate that in my shows. I'm like,
Yeah.
give thanks to the Dubber. This is my new clicking sound.
And a lady was disappointed in me. She had visited Africa, and I forgot what part of Africa. I believe it's South Africa. I don't know. But there's a tribe that clicks when they're singing and performing, and she thought I got it from them. And I didn't know what she was talking about. I had to research it, but she was like disappointed that's not where it came from.
Speaking of Africa, I heard a story about your seat that you were sitting on.
The stool seat. Yeah, that's the stool seat. That was gifted to me by someone very dear to me. They said I could use it, and I have two seats. I have that, and I have another seat. It's called the 100 chair, the 100-year-old chair, which is like the unofficial official chair of South Carolina, and it's a dope chair as well. But for the night up, I wanted to do that. I haven't performed in that in a while. I just brought it back out, but
it looks comfortable.
Oh, it's perfect. It's like it's bit for me, really. It's bit for me.
It's a good dubbing chair.
Yeah, good dubbing chair.
So man, I was sitting there, I was listening to your songs. Tell me a little bit about your songwriting process. How does it come? Like, do you start with lyrics? Do you start on your guitar first? Or just tell me a little bit about that.
Honestly, a lot of times I just be messing around with the guitar and come up with like rhythms. They become arrangements, and the lyrics just flow. I really don't write down my lyrics. It's like freestyle, but I can't freestyle. Let me get that clear. I can't freestyle, but I will just start singing, and before it's over, the song is done. Like that's it. It's like a message just kind of come through. So usually it's the music, and then the lyrics that come, and that's it. I only had maybe a couple of songs where I actually had to like think about it for a while before it all came, but usually they come just by me start singing.
And then just the magic just happens.
The magic just happens. So how you put that.
Do you have a favorite song that you have? I know it's hard to choose.
No, I don't. I have a lot of favorite songs. I find myself saying that a lot. With the feeling which I did tonight, that's the people's favorite. That's a song that took me overseas and stuff like that. So that's probably my most popular song. I think it's the video got the most views or something like that. But I'm really loving, like Behind Enemy Lines is one of my favorites. Don't Fear Them is like the first joint, I think, the first song I played on stage. Um, Original Rockstar, that's the first song I wrote. But man, this is
I saw
all
some
of them.
shout outs for that actually on the live stream comments for Original Rockstar.
Yeah, people like Original Rockstar. And, you know, I posted something on Instagram today explaining Original Rockstar. I used to work at Tower Records. I don't know if you remember what Tower Records was.
No.
But Tower Records was a major record store chain. It was all across the world, New York, Tokyo, all that. And I worked in one in D.C. And I discovered Robert Johnson just by chance. They had a promo, and I pulled it out. And I had been hearing about Robert Johnson selling soul to the devil and all that. So I was like, man, let me listen to this. And when I listened to it, I could not believe that guy was 27 years old. He sounded like he was 100. And then, you know, just the history, you know, this was like 100 years ago back, you know, sharecropping, Mississippi Delta. I mean, I heard all the struggle and the angst in his voice. And after listening to it, I was like, I've never heard no one sound like him or sing like him. And at the time, I was tooling around with some of the songs that I play now. They never thought I would perform any of this stuff live.
Yeah.
But I started calling him Original Rockstar because his lifestyle that he lived is what all rock stars aspire to be.
Yeah.
You know, he's the original. Like, he's the one who did all that. And I started calling him that. And then, when I finally got on stage by chance to perform some songs, people were like, we want you to play some shows. Like, people came up to me. I did one performance, which I wasn't supposed to do. They asked me to do it. You know, keep it real, I could have bitched out and not did it. But I did it. And when I opened my eyes, man, people was like standing in front of me like they, I don't know, man, it was just wild. Got off the stage, I had like about 3 or 4 show offers. I had people wanted to buy CDs. None of this was ever in the works. So I decided at that point, you know what, dude, you couldn't plan this if you wanted to. This is genuine. Just go ahead and do it. And that was 20 years ago.
Well, and you said you went down to the Delta. You were out of Washington D.C. I also heard that you were in California for a while.
Yeah, I lived in Long Beach and in South Central. I was in Long Beach, you know, playing shows with Sublime and all that.
Oh, really?
I knew Bradley and all those guys. I moved out there. Then, you know, we were a really dope rock band, punk band in the Hollywood scene. Coconut Teaser, Whiskey a Go Go, all those places. Band was called Freesia, and you know, bands like Tool and Rage Against the Machine, they used to come check us out and shit like that.
Really?
It's a whole history with that.
I know a couple people that freak out if they heard that.
Yeah, and actually, it's a guy here in South Carolina that was out there at the time that saw me and remembered me from being in California. But yeah, man, we had record deals and man, we had a lot of stuff going on. But you know, some things happened. I don't really want to get into what happened, but a lot of stuff happened that derailed all that. And then I moved back to D.C. And then that's when the opportunity to be the original Rockstar came about.
Yeah, well, speaking of records, you have some songs already out right now,
Yeah.
right? So where can people find those?
All social media platforms, you know, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, you know.
Under the Dubber.
Under the
How
Dubber.
many albums do you have out right now?
Officially, I have 3 albums out. Only one is on the market right now because I took the others down because I want to redo them. I want to do reissues, anniversaries. I want to beef up the production a little bit. But yeah, my Global Warner album is out right now, so you can check it out on, like I said, all the social media.
And you
sites.
have Southern Cachet coming out
Southern
soon.
Cachet. That's the new album that's coming out. Like I said, you know, I've been here now in South Carolina for it's almost been 15 years, I think now.
Wow.
And you know, just living here, I got a lot of love living in South Carolina. But there's been some times too. So a lot of songs came out of that. And I feel like, you know, when I first started talking about South Carolina, people were like, "You're not from here." You know, that's South Carolina for you.
Yeah.
So they were like, "You're not from here." But I've been here long enough to, you know, say what I want to say now.
Eventually, I'll get there. I've only been here for 2 years, so eventually.
Yeah, you're still a newbie. You're still a newbie.
I got the Florida smell still.
Okay,
you know what I mean? They're like, "Oh, you're Floridian."
Yeah, you're still a newbie. So yeah, Southern Cachet. It just, you know, I feel like now people will accept, you know, my stories of South Carolina, and you know, I received a grant from the Arts Commission since I've been here. Resident at the Richland Library, so I got a little history here, and I'm a little established here. So I think people will accept what I have to say a little bit more now. So that's what the album is titled, Southern Cachet.
Well, so do you still have any more recording to do on
I'm
that?
going to the studio on Wednesday and Friday, and hopefully I wrap it up. But by the way, one of the guys here working with you guys, he plays bass.
Oh, really?
On a couple of tracks. Yeah,
Oh,
Mr. Foster.
Rodney Foster.
Yeah,
he's
the legend,
actually
the living legend.
he's the one actually switching the cameras right now. But
Yeah.
so tell me a little bit about like your recording process. Do you have any like when I go into the studio, I have like random things I need to be in order so I can get into the zone. Do you have anything like that?
No, I just kind of go in. I mean, I kind of my main thing is this. I come from the era where you jammed as a musician.
Yeah.
Like everything started with a jam.
Yeah.
Nowadays, not so much. So I think I'm a stickler on getting people to jam with me before I play, because I want the chemistry.
Yeah.
I mean, Earth, Wind, and Fire is Earth, Wind, and Fire because of the chemistry.
Correct.
Zeppelin is Zeppelin because of the chemistry. But it was a different era. They that's just what you did. You played together and created songs, and you play a song 100 times, I know what note you're gonna hit before you hit it, and
Exactly.
that's when the magic happened. So I'm used to that. So I try to incorporate that in the studio, but it's kind of hit and miss with that. But it is what it is today. But that's the only thing. That's the only thing I kind of like am a stickler on. Everything else kind of free flowing.
Man, it keeps coming up in this conversation, the magic. It's that rare moment on stage or that just where you tap into something that's just supernatural, in my opinion.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just go to the next level.
Yeah.
We were in the studio recording this new song, and it's not about me, but what I'm talking about is I approached this new song in a different way in which we literally just got behind our instruments and just played. They heard the song the first time that moment, and we were trying to capture lightning in a jar.
Yeah, yeah.
So I get exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about, man. It's an interesting process, like
Yeah.
just and also hearing it and then editing it down, and then. But yeah, I mean, how far are you away from releasing your album?
I'm looking at late May, June release at this point. COVID screwed up a lot. I mean, you had a whole year where you really couldn't go to the studio. Everyone kind of shut stuff down. And then I was supposed to be in the studio the early part of this month, and the engineer family caught COVID, so he had to quarantine for like 14 days. I don't think he caught it. I don't know. I won't find out until I talk to him on Wednesday. But yeah, he had to quarantine, so that set me back another month. So, it's ready when it's ready.
I'm ready for this COVID stuff.
Yeah. You and me both. But it's ready when it's ready. I've learned to hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
And hopefully, May, if not May, June. But I only got one more song really to record. The other stuff just got to mix down. I got a couple of things I want to go back and do some stuff. So I think I can knock it out in at least 3 sessions. So we got 2 coming up.
I'll definitely be looking out for it.
Oh,
man.
I appreciate
I'm
it.
so interested in hearing it. I was listening to some of your songs before you got here today, and I really love what you're doing, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Well,
Appreciate it.
why don't you tell the people just where they can stay in touch with you, what media platforms, your website, different stuff like that. Let them know how they can support you.
Okay, well, I would prefer you go to my website, thedubber.com, www.thedubber.com. But all the social media platforms. Instagram, I'm on Instagram more than anything right now. So Instagram, I will. You can definitely contact me there, DM, whatever. But yeah, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, go listen to some music. Spotify, you can listen to music. All this, I'm on everything. All you gotta do is Google the Dubber. You'll find all the little links right there.
Well, man, thank you so much for joining
Thank you.
us for on the Marc sessions here at the warehouse. And ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the man himself. Go to www.thedubber.com. Make sure you buy some music from him. Some T-shirts and hats. You have T-shirts and hats, right?
I got T-shirts. I'm in the process of getting some new merch. So, but T-shirts are on deck.
Come on now. So go make sure you buy some merch, buy his album. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. Next week, we have incredible artists coming on, so make sure you tune in every Monday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This was Off the Reel Sessions with the Dubber. Thanks so much. Have a great night.
Yeah, thanks. Booyaka.